right, so day 2, Drive Strength says, do you have any insight on, or have you ever used or stored colloidal silver for antimicrobial or health benefits? Seems like it would be a worthwhile product to store for general use, but especially during SHTF, where medications could be unavailable. Also, as a side note, check out Vital Oxide for your gym, bathroom, kitchen, etc. Fantastic hospital-grade disinfectant that is non-toxic and non-corrosive. So we used to get this stuff called Physahex, which apparently is pretty toxic, in these 1-gallon jugs, and they used it in like operating rooms and stuff. I have not heard, I guess I've heard of Vital Oxide. Somebody on the, it might have been him on the videos talking about Vital Oxide. Colloidal silver, have not ever used it. I read about it, I hear about it, not as much as you used to, but it's definitely still there. I know they have this little device, you put a silver coin in, hook the electrodes up, and it makes colloidal silver. Do you know anything about it?
I know very little. I know that we have a bottle of it, but I've never used it consistently enough to see any benefit.
So I bought colloidal silver nose spray, nasal spray, and then reading the reviews, they're like, it's not even real colloidal silver.
Of course.
I know Fuller has a colloidal silver machine. Yeah.
What does that do for you?
So silver is an antimicrobial, so it basically supercharges liquid. I don't know if it's alcohol or water that you put it in, and it's an antiseptic.
Oh, okay,
it helps heal and shit.
I know when Gabby and Josh were here, anytime she would feel like she had like a little bit of a sore throat coming on, she would gargle colloidal silver, and she's like, literally within minutes it's gone.
That's weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. The Redmick 22. Is there anything you've done, either professionally or on the compound, that you thought would be great and turned out to be a terrible idea? And is there anything you've done that at the time didn't seem like a big deal, but turned into the best thing you have done for your company, the compound? So our biggest failure is this pond out here.
That's what I was thinking.
And we're looking $45,000 to fix this thing. And that includes a lot of, it will be very different than it is. The pond is in the wrong place. The pond is built in the wrong manner. It has to be fully deconstructed. We're basically going to take uphill dirt, push it in, take downhill dirt, push it in, and then completely change the level and taper of the ground on 2 different directions. Then, once that's done, we can put something in place. It's going to be a long process. We could totally start doing it now, but what I will not have is raw dirt out there through the winter. It's just going to be mud and slop, and I'm not willing to do that. So it has to all be done in a 30-day process. So we're kind of on hold with that right now. As far as the business, anything come to mind?
No, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, for a long time, like when we started doing business, we just did cash business. And I did cash business all the way up in San Diego. Like I was still doing cash business all the time. And I wasn't trying to hide anything. Like the cash came from the ATM. So there was a record of me taking cash out of the ATM. It was more that I didn't trust credit cards and debit cards and stuff. And then also dealing with individuals. There were places we went when you would buy stuff that they just wouldn't take a credit or debit card. It was just a single individual person that had stuff we were buying. Hell, we went to a material supply house in Chino, California, and I didn't have cash. All I had was credit cards, and they didn't take credit cards. And I mean, so we just everybody took cash. And then when we started taking credit cards, we like tripled our monthly revenue that first 30 days, just because it was easy for the customer to give you money. So I mean that's an example. I don't know anything. Nothing else come to mind. Cody Athlete, I'm looking into doing chickens in my backyard, primarily having them for eggs. Backyard is 1/4 of an acre. What advice do you have as far as size of coop, type of coop? How many chickens should I get? My family is wife and 3 kids, and I would likely supply my in-laws and parents with eggs as well. Arizona mountains, 5,600 foot elevation, if that makes a difference. So you're at 5,600 feet elevation in Arizona, and you're locked into, did he say backyard?
Quarter of an acre in a backyard.
So that's not a, I guess it could be like a HOA or something. It depends. Like, I don't have enough information here. I could give you literally 30 different answers. You say coop. Are your chickens leaving the coop? Are you going to let the chickens out during the day? Do the chickens get to chase and eat bugs and be chickens? Or are the chickens just in a cage like a house pet? Because if your chickens are just going into sleep, man, I use 10 by 10 dog runs. So just picture a 10 by 10 chain link fence all the way around. And you get what you pay for. Tractor Supply, you can get a cheap dog run for about $250. You can get a really good one for $750. The difference with the $750 one, because we're going to take these, they're way more secure, but we're going to take them and we're going to put a tarp over the top. We use 10 by 12 tarps. They come in a 2-pack, about $35 from Costco or Sam's Club. They are not as durable as they used to be. We used to get 18 months out of a tarp. We're lucky to get 6 months now. They're not built in the same manner. We still pull them and stretch them one direction and then stretch them the other direction. But the grommets literally rip out because the material gives way. It's just not the same quality raw goods. But what you're going to do is you're going to tarp this, and then you're going to take a 4x4 or a 2x4, preferably something with a bigger footprint, because you're going to cut that pole. You're going to get right in the center, and you're going to push it up, right? So you want it just long enough that you can tension this, and it'll pop it up like a circus tent. You could also use a shorter pole and then put a block underneath it, or stack up 2x4 blocks to get it to the height you need it. And you're going to take some foam or something to cap that top with. Tape some so it's soft, because the vibration in the wind will eat a hole through the tarp if that 4x4 has sharp edges. And then if you really want to do like Josh and some of the guys here took, they took the edges of that kennel and basically took some like 2x4s up and then ran a 2x6 across, so it's more gentle. So it gives it more of a pitch than a point. It gives it a pitch, and that will make your tarps last longer also. Something else you can do now is Tractor Supply sells a coop that looks similar to the Tartar dog runs, but it actually has a roof on it, and that will also preserve your tarps greatly. Also, while talking about tarps, when your tarp is it's sun weathered, and it's got a little bit of damage to it, when you unskin that thing and put your new tarp up, if you put your dead tarp back over that, it's UV light. It's UV that is destroying and degrading that material. So you could take the ugly one, put it back over the top, and it would greatly prolong the life of the new tarp that you put up there, and then provide wet proof. Like they're not going to catch rain, right? So the tarp is, the kennels are 10 by 10. The tarp is 10 by 12. We do the 10 by 12, the long one, on the side to side, and then we put that edge of the 10 by 10 on the front edge. You want it zip tied on the front edge, not really lapping down much, because you still need to be able to swing that door open. And that's how we set them up. I've literally made 100 videos on this. There's pictures of it all over the place. We talk about it all the time. So then I'm going to take 2x4s and I'm going to put them inside, up where that pitch is, up high. And if your chickens are dumb, they're not. They can get up there, believe me. But you can do gradual, or you could make a ladder going up for them or whatever. But they'll get up on those 2x4s up high, completely out of the weather. The most torrential downpour storms we have, those chickens are all up in there. And when you go in at night, they're all up there on that roost. You can put a couple 2x4s up there. Now, if you're going to feed them and deep litter mulch them, it's a lot more work for you. You could keep a few chickens in there and not let them out. Ideally, though, like with that 10 by 10 kennel sits inside of a pen that is probably, I mean, ours are probably 50 by 100 maybe. You could do it like with a run out that's the width, 10 feet wide, 30 feet. And you can do those with T-posts and just cattle panels. If you get combo panels, the wire spacing is smaller and most of your chickens will stay inside there. And if that's a concern, you can take chicken wire and just hog ring it, or I like zip ties better, and just put chicken wire. Chicken wire will last literally for 20 years. It'll last you forever. If you're doing it by yourself, I put up like a synthetic, it's this green hexagon mesh chicken wire, and you can put it up much easier yourself. That rips and tears and the sun breaks it down after a couple of years for sure. It's not as durable. And it just depends. If like our chickens, and if you take chickens from chicks and keep them in these kennels, these chickens will never really get out. If you take a chicken who has experienced freedom and you lock him up, as soon as he or she gets the option, they're going to fly over and go where they want to go and do chicken things. It's just, do you want to have chickens and just make it easy, or do you want to confine them and have to do a lot more work? And that's what it comes down to. You have to do a lot more work in the less space you keep them. If you look up Liberty Garden on YouTube, and you will see the old original commercials and print ads from World War II. And it said that every U.S. citizen, it is your patriotic duty to keep a 4x8 victory garden in your front yard and have 3 chickens. That was your responsibility as a citizen, to keep 3 chickens, because those chickens are going to give you an egg every day. Now, you said you wanted to feed your wife and 3 kids, so that's you. That's 5 plus your in-laws. 5 eggs a day means you need 5 chickens a day.
Or more.
And more, yeah, because they're not always going to give you an egg a day. And when the solar cycle shortens during the winter, you're going to get far fewer eggs. If you want 10 eggs through the winter, you really need 20 chickens through the winter. So there's a lot to be said. The biggest thing is just do it, man. Just go get you some chickens. If you look on Craigslist or Marketplace, you will find chickens, egg-laying chickens. A lot of times these chicken farms, once the chicken is, I don't know, 12 months, year and a half old, it has its first molt, and the chicken houses sell those chickens off. And people get a hold of them, they sell them to people, small backyard flock people, and they also, make chicken soup and shit out of them. So you can get those chickens. Look to pay $14 to $20 for an egg-laying hen is what it used to be. Depending on where you are now, it's probably back to about that price. You can buy chickens for $1 a piece. You're not going to get any eggs out of those chickens for 6 months. Elevation, 5,600 feet. I would assume high desert Arizona, like St. James, or someplace like that. You're going to have ice probably. You're going to have some cold. Heritage breeds birds. I love barred rocks. Barred rocks, they're really pretty. They're gray and speckled. All of our chickens, and we probably have 20 different breeds of chickens, they're all outside in the snow. Like, they have dry area where they can get, and we give them feed in those coops every day. They're out in the snow, I mean, all the time. Through the worst storms, they're cooped up. When it gets cold like that, straw has gotten more and more and more expensive. The difference between straw and hay costs more. Hay has more seed. Hay has more nutritional value. It's usually lower on the grass, and it's hollow, so it holds some heat. Straw costs less. It's used as bedding. We use it to kind of line the walls inside those coops with hay bales, straw bales, so it just blocks wind. You could also add other tarps, but this gives you some insulation. The birds sit on it, and I think it just makes them a little more comfortable when it's really, really cold. I mean, there are times when we have had 2 straight weeks of snow that is literally just frozen, and when your feet are just crunch, 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 crunch when you're out there. Last year is a good example. We did a lot of videos last winter, and you can see how those chickens were. When the sun comes up, they're out there in the snow and moving around. There's just get you some chickens, man. Just start with some chickens. Even you'll learn a lot of things, even if predators will eat your shit.
Especially in the mountains.
Especially there, you're gonna have birds and stuff. So fences keep dogs in, dogs keep predators out. If you can't do that, you might be better off with a smaller run, because a smaller run, you can chicken wire in pretty well. And then you can put netting. They have predator bird netting, and you just put a couple poles up, and it takes a few people to get it over there, set your poles erect, and then zip tie your shit in. Hawks will still get in sometimes, but you will come out and there'll be a hawk or an owl caught in your netting. You'll see it happen.
And make sure that your wife really wants chickens.
Does she?
No, I'm just telling him.
Does she? Or who does not want the chickens? You or her?
I don't want to deal with them.
Okay.
And she says that she will, but I just don't think that she will.
No, I understand. Amanda brings houseplants home all the time. We kill a lot of. Amanda always wants roses. Amanda wants this botanical garden, but she doesn't want to have to touch it. She doesn't even want to visit there.
Yeah.
She just thinks she wants to have it.
I used to have flowers sent to her. I think it was once every other week, and I think it was $50 a delivery, which is kind of expensive, And she would just let them sit there and die until the next ones came. And then I was like, I'm not going to just waste my money like that.
Yeah,
but she wants the flowers, though,
When you start doing something nice for someby for free, they're really upset when you stop doing it.
Oh, yeah. I got an earful when I stopped doing it.
Vince Vega, I've heard you talking about EMP Shield a decent amount. How did the install of it go in the 4Runner? We also have a 5th gen 4Runner, and I'm looking to put it on. So it's a couple wires. Like, there's literally nothing to it. There's videos on YouTube of it. Truth is, we have not installed them because we're just waiting to do a video. Like, I have a ton of shit that I buy, and I'm like, ooh, I'm so excited to get this, and I never unbox it because I'm like, I should do an unboxing video. I probably have a building full of shit that we've bought and never opened, waiting on videos.
The vlog that went up last Thursday, for us it was yesterday, but they're going to see this on Sunday. It has Billy installing the one in the building, and it's pretty much that long. Like, he may have been like 5 more minutes, but it's mostly that entire thing that you see is how long it took, and it's not very long.
Right, and that's on the building.
Yeah.
So that video is about 4 months. That video was filmed 4 months ago. It was at the last Self-Reliance Festival, the one before the one we just had last weekend.
In June.
Yeah.
Aurora Rings. I noticed that you have affiliate links. Any advice you could give on where to start with that type of thing in videos or posts? So I would start with Amazon, because everybody uses Amazon. And if you really want to get you have to have eyeballs for affiliate links to work. So if you don't have viewers, it doesn't fucking matter. So viewers, and how are you going to gain viewers? People like to watch craftsmen. Start teaching how you do what you do. And a lot of people will be like, I'm not creating a competition for myself. If you start teaching people to do what you do, your customers will be interested in what you do also. And because they are learning something from you, they will want a two-way flow of, you give them this and they're going to give you money. And even though they're not giving you money, they will use your affiliate link. So you take the tools you're using in your videos, find them on Amazon, and put a link up to them. And it makes a big difference. You can have an affiliate, you can just have your Amazon link. It will not do the same thing as you actually showing the product. This cup right here, I really like this straw. I get it off Amazon. If you're interested, please use my link. Put the few things from the video in your link. Your sales will be triple what they are if you just tell them, hey, here's a link. People are fucking lazy. You have to weave the story. And then once you have the Amazon link, you can do your the 3 tools on Amazon right now I can't live without. And they will click that link. What that does when they click on that link to see it on Amazon, it auto-populates a cookie. And that cookie is active for 48 hours. I tell people 24 just so that it builds urgency. Any time they click Amazon in the next 48 hours, it doesn't matter what they buy. They go to look at the straw or anything you've posted, anything they buy in the next 48 hours off Amazon, you get 1 to 2% off of. Sometimes that number is much greater. There was like some clearance on ladders, and one of our customers used a click-through link, bought a ladder, and we got $70 off the ladder. I don't know why. Sometimes that happens. And you also get, you'll get a little percentage on any like online content that they buy from Amazon. Like if they're buying click-through, if they're buying movies or video stuff, you'll get a small percentage of that too. Now, a lot of people use Amazon for grocery shopping even. You get a percentage. There's 3 categories in there that you get, and the taskbar is really good. It's easy to see it. And then, who do you align yourself with? EMP Shield is a good fit for us. We know those dudes. We know the guys that actually own EMP Shield. They run prepper conferences and stuff themselves. So I have a link. It's capital SOE. Anybody wants a EMP Shield, it gives you $50 off. It also gives me $50 for an EMP Shield. So if you're in a position to do content and speak about EMP Shield, it's $50 every time somebody buys one. We use Harvest Right freeze dryers. We have a link. And every time you click that link that we have, it auto-populates. And when you buy a Harvest Right freeze dryer, I think we get a few $100 off of each Harvest Right freeze dryer. Yeah. So you just have to reach out. Tractor Supply, Lowe's, Home Depot, they all have affiliate links. Walmart has an affiliate link. So you have a lot of options. Try to do things that you actually, people see you using. And if you don't show yourself using it and you don't speak about it, nobody's going to use it. They just won't. And people are very, very fucking lazy. You can see that. Like, just watch a live feed video. When we do a live feed at night, the freest thing in the world to do is just click the like button on any YouTube video you watch. But you'd be amazed at how many people do not just do that, right? So do you think they're going to make a couple other clicks so that they can buy some shit that you get a couple percentage points off of? A lot of them won't. So you have to, if you put that link there, they typically, you have a better chance of them doing it.
I would say also Amazon is probably the best bet for somebody starting, or if you get a really good discount on one specific item like the EMP Shield, because Amazon covers everything. Everybody uses Amazon for something. Not everybody's going to buy an EMP Shield, but they'll buy it from you or use your link if you get that $50 off.
Correct. Yeah. And again, it has to be something that you align with. The other thing is when you jump in bed at night or when you're sitting watching TikTok or whatever, go on YouTube and just put in how to use affiliate marketing links, right? And just watch some videos. How to use current, or just type in current targeted marketing Facebook or current marketing trends Instagram. You'll find, and that shit changes all the time. And that's why you want to put in current. And then look at the date on it. Look at the most, the newest date, because that shit changes all the time. What worked a year ago doesn't work now. We used to make a ton more money on Amazon, and Amazon started locking down what you were allowed to do. We just would take a link and send that link out in all of our, I think we were putting in our email, like, hey, if you love us or you hate us and you're using Amazon, click this link first and then do your shopping. Amazon shut that shit down. Like, they're like, we're going to pull it. Like, Amazon, when you start making money on any of these platforms, they will all figure out a way to throttle you back so you make less money. I think I kind of answered that. Ephraim Gilman, have you spent any time learning about medicinal herbs, even just the weeds in your own yard? No, I couldn't even tell you the difference. I mean, I know dandelion. Like, that's literally, how about you?
I've definitely started looking into the herbalism thing. I have a couple books. I've made a couple tinctures. I've watched a ton of videos on YouTube and TikTok about different things. And it's almost time for me to strain my tinctures.
Cool. I think that if we had like and I know they have one, right? They have that, like, it's like a rigid waterproof plastic, and it unfolds like an accordion that shows like the snakes of Tennessee. Yep. That's what I need, like the weeds of Tennessee, something like that. And it probably exists. We just haven't looked for it.
I would definitely like to be able to identify the things that we have on our property that we can use, because I'm sure we grow something here natively that can be used medicinally.
There's a bunch of them.
Don't know what it is.
And a lot of people brought in like like they heard I didn't have plantain. We have fucking plantain. The whole fucking hill's covered in plantain. And yarrow, I think, was another one.
That's a good one.
And then comfrey.
Yep.
We have a bunch of different types of it. I just don't know what it is. I just haven't spent enough time really looking at it. That's the last of the questions. So we need to go through here and make sure we pick a couple winners, which questions we like the best out of these, and get those together and send out stuff to the winners. So
winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, man, I'm talking about realest, one of the realest to try. My family, SOE, got the tools to survive.